There are a few things on this planet that are so alluring and entrancing that words always fall short to describe their timeless beauty, worth, and significance. Ruby stone is one such mesmerizing phenomenon. Known for its divine beauty, robust impact, and spectacular brilliance, ruby is an indispensable part of the Big Four club of gemstones, as well as one of the most expensive gemstones in the world. In terms of price and value, only diamonds can go head-to-head with rubies. The finest and the most valuable rubies in the world have lush and deep red color, minimal inclusions and color zoning, and hefty carat weight. Every year, at different jewelry and gemstone auctions, you will find some of the rarest gemstones, including rubies, being sold at a mammoth price to ardent gemstone collectors. The second entry on this list by the famous Cartier, but what an entry it is! While smaller than the previous entry, this 10.10 carat Burmese ruby possesses the much-desired pigeon blood coloration, which is why its sale price was over $1 million more than the previous entry. The 3.5 centimeters long, platinum and diamond setting made by the master craftsman at Cartier only helps to accentuate this stunning example of a ruby, which the letter accompanying the SSEF Swiss Gemological Institute confirms. The ruby possesses extraordinary characteristics and merits special mention and appreciation. The ruby exhibits a saturated and vivid red color, combined with a fine purity and a very attractive cutting style. One ruby that most definitely has not been overlooked is the Graf ruby, but it is hard to ignore a gemstone that broke the world record price on 2 separate occasions. It originally came up for auction in February 2006 at the Christie's sale in Geneva. When it was set in a Bulgari mount, it was bought by famed jeweler Lawrence Graf for $3.6 million, who then renamed the stone after himself. The stone was reset in a more contemporary mount before being sold privately. The ruby was then offered at auction in November 2014 and was bought by none other than Lawrence Graf, who paid another world record price of $8.6 million, and as far as is known, it is still part of the Graf collection. Now we are getting to the really expensive rubies, as this 10.05 carat untreated Burmese ruby sold for over $10 million in 2016. The platinum and gold diamond-encrusted mount was made by one of the world's leading sources of fine-quality Burmese rubies, Fei. And this example has to be one of the best they have ever sold. The previous owners certainly wanted to add as much provenance as they could to this stunning stone, as it was accompanied by reports from 3 of the world's leading gem labs, GIA, Gubelin, and SSEF, who accompanied their report with an appendix that contained the following statement. A natural ruby from Burma of this size and quality is very rare and exceptional, and can be considered a true treasure of nature. Just missing out on the top 7 is the very impressive 13.26 carat untreated Burmese ruby. The ring is a unique design, whose taste may not be for everyone, but the centerpiece is certainly spectacular, and the accompanying 10+ carats of top-quality diamonds aren't bad either. As with all of the rubies on this list, this stunning example is accompanied by reports. In this case, they are from Gubelin, who had this to say. It displays a homogeneous and richly saturated color which typifies the finest of these gems. In addition, this remarkable gemstone has been spared of thermal treatment, making this ruby a truly unique rarity. The 6th entry on the list is a spectacular ruby and diamond ring. The stunning antique cushion-cut, pigeon blood-colored ruby weighs in at an impressive 24.70 carats and has the desired attributes of being a Burmese ruby that has not been subjected to any treatments or enhancements. While not a record breaker like some of the other rubies on this list, this rare example of an extremely fine ruby is deserving of a place amongst the most expensive rubies ever sold at auction. The only unnamed ruby on the list, and there is not much history surrounding the stone, but as the title suggests, the ruby in this ring is truly exceptional. It has all the attributes that is required of the finest rubies. Coming from the Mogok Valley in Burma, this 15.03 carat untreated ruby possesses the most desirable pigeon blood color. The report from the American Gemological Laboratories says that the clarity is remarkable for a ruby of this size. This ruby flew under the radar due to it not breaking any records, but it is very deserving of its position as the fourth most expensive ruby ever sold at auction. The Jubilee ruby is a stunning 15.99 carat, oval-cut, untreated Burmese ruby. When the ruby was offered for sale at Christie's, New York in 2016, it was the finest example to be offered at auction in the United States for over 25 years, and the sale price broke the record for the amount paid for a colored gemstone in the USA. The appendix on the SSF report perfectly describes the ruby. Its attractive, vivid red color is due to a combination of well-balanced trace elements in this gemstone, characteristic for the finest rubies from Mogok. In addition to these qualities, this ruby has been spared exposure to heat treatment, and its clarity and color are thus all natural. A natural ruby from Burma of this size and quality is very rare, and thus can be considered an exceptional treasure. When the Crimson Flame ruby sold in December 2015, it became the most expensive ruby per carat in history, beating the record set earlier in 2015. It could be argued that the Crimson Flame is the finest ruby to ever be sold, as the 15.04 carat, cushion-cut, untreated pigeon blood Burmese ruby is just about as close to perfection you can get. As of the start of 2018, its record-setting price per carat has yet to be beaten. As with the Jubilee ruby above, SSEF knew just how to describe it. Its vivid and saturated red color, poetically referred to as pigeon blood red, is due to a combination of well-balanced trace elements in this stone, characteristic for the finest rubies from Mogok. A natural ruby from Burma of this size and quality is very rare, and thus can be considered an exceptional treasure. The Sunrise ruby was the world's most expensive ruby for over 8 years, and for just over 6 months, it also held the title of highest price per carat, before being beaten by the Crimson Flame. At over 10 carats bigger than its main rival, the Sunrise is a truly exceptional ruby. Being an untreated pigeon blood Burmese ruby only adds to its desirability. When it sold in 2015, it smashed the previous record set by the Graf ruby in 2014 by over £14 million, $21 million, and it will be interesting to see what will dethrone it as the world's most expensive ruby. The Estrella de Fura was one of the most anticipated ruby sales in history, as this unique example differs from every other ruby on this list for 2 reasons. The first is the size of the stone, which weighs nearly 30 carats more than the Sunrise ruby, which is an exceptionally large ruby, and was the first time a stone of this size and quality had ever been offered for auction. The second reason is that the Estrella de Fura was mined on Mozambique, and is the first ruby to make the top 10 that was mined outside of Burma, Myanmar, and it really put rubies from this part of the world on the map. The Estrella de Fura was accompanied by 5 reports from highly respected gem labs that all commented on how special this example is, but only GRS and Bellerophon used pigeon blood when talking about the color of the stone, which is interesting.